Hi guys, welcome to Sunya IAS. In this class, we are starting with the new part of your ancient history series where we will discuss Mahajanapads today, and I'll also give you a quick dictation on Buddhism. So if you remember guys, we started from Buddhism in the last class, but many of you, they were asking about PDFs and study material. So please scan this QR code and get your PDFs. You can join our group and you can take a screenshot also if you want. Okay, so as you know guys that this is a free initiative, but this is priceless. This is something which is having the quality of paid classes, and if you want all the notes and the study materials, classes, links, you can just join us by scanning this QR code. Okay, so now I'll just start the discussion from the new lecture. As you know, we discussed about Buddhism in the last class. Now we are discussing the 6th century BC. So there is a chapter in your class 6th NCERT about thriving villages and vital towns. Like how new towns came up, how the idea of Mahajanpad was coming, and what kind of new towns were there. So do we have any ancient towns? Do we have any examples of ancient towns? That we will discuss. But before starting the session, please let me know if it is working fine from your side, or you know, if audio, video and other things are fine, if it is visible and clearly audible to you, please let me know guys. Yes. Good evening guys. Good evening everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, it's working fine. Good evening. Sri Lakshmi, you are asking about the other subjects, like if we will cover all the subjects. Yes, we will be doing it. Don't worry. Fine. Once we will cover history, then we can come to the other subjects also. And we are planning to start few simultaneous classes for you for other subjects. Don't worry, it will be done very soon. But now let's resume the session from the last class. In the last part, we discussed about Buddhism and Jainism. Then we understood that few new ideas came up. Now let's see what kind of new villages and towns came and how the journey started. Okay, so if we talk about religion, of course we got new religions, new sects, even Shaivism, Vaishnavism also got rise. So in India, Buddhism and Hinduism, okay, Buddhism and Hinduism were the two main religions. At that point, Jainism was also spreading, but initially Jainism was not spreading the way Buddhism was doing. Why? Because of patronage. Okay, Jainism was also popular, but not that popular. But now you will see that Jainism is still existing in India, but Buddhism completely disappeared. So Buddhism was divided into two cults, Hinayan and Mahayana. I hope you remember I told you the difference. Hinayan is the old Buddhism and Mahayana was the new Buddhism. So Hinayan Buddhism followed the symbol worship. Okay, and they never considered Buddha to be a god. They said that okay, we follow the teachings of Buddha, but we can't believe in the ideas of God like this. No, and we can't make idol of Buddha. But Mahayana, they consider Buddha to be immortal. They make idols of Buddha. So Murti Puja Mahayana mein hai, but in Hinayan there is no Murti Puja. No Murti, no sculptures, no puja. Means no Murti Puja, no idol worship at all. Okay. But as you know, Hinayan had no idols, so of course symbols were there, and every symbol was considered to show something. So you need to tell me in the comment box that what was the symbol to signify the enlightenment of Buddha. बुद्धा के enlightenment को signify करने के लिए which kind of symbol was there, क्या symbol था. और यहाँ if in this image you can see, this is an image of Buddha from Mathura, because we saw the development of Mathura school of art also later. So when you will know about Mathura school of art, you will discuss that how they used to keep red sandstones, And the best part was that Mathura was making the sculptures related to all the religions, Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism. So there was a blend of all the kinds of architectures in Mathura, and we will discuss the Mathura school of art when we will come to the Mauryan Empire, because Mathura school of art and Gandhar school of art got the rise during the Mauryan Empire and in the later Mauryan part. Okay, so there is a timeline which you need to remember. When I come to ancient history, I see that many of you forget the timeline. So there is a step by step approach that we started from prehistory. Okay, then we came to the Vedic era. No, not Vedic era, but Indus Valley civilization. Then we came to the Vedic era. Okay, and then we came to the Mahajanapads, right, which we are discussing right now. So during the time of Mahajanapads only we saw the rise of Buddhism and Jainism. So Buddhism, Jainism, Mahajanapads, everything is coming in the 6th century BC. So three topics are contemporary in nature: Jainism, Buddhism and Mahajanapads. Okay, in the Mahajanapad we will find the 16 Mahajanapads were there, but Magad was the most important one. Patliputra, okay, which is in Patliputra, Patna, present Patna in Bihar. Okay, so Magad became the most important Mahajanapad. Out of this particular region, we will see the rise of Mauryan Empire. Okay, so before we come to Mauryans, because the school of arts which I am telling you, like Gandhar, Mathura and Amravati school of art, came after the Mauryan Empire. Okay, so if you don't understand Mauryan Empire, how the fall of Mauryan Empire started, then you will not understand that art, because art is linked with the polity, society and the culture, right? So we can't jump to the art forms, because we are reading NCERT and NCERT is written in the fragments. Okay, the informations are scattered in NCERT. I'm just trying to link it up for you. Okay, so there is this cementing which I'm doing it so that you don't feel the gaps when you read the topics, but understand that if they are writing it in NCERT while they are discussing about Buddhism, it doesn't mean that Buddhism is a part of the Mauryan Empire or the Mathura school of art, or the Mathura sculptures came during the time of Mahajanapads. No, it's not possible, right? So this sequencing is missing in NCERT. That's why we are having this series, so that you understand the sequence. Don't break the sequence whenever you read the ancient history. This is a rough sequence: prehistory, Indus Valley civilization, then Vedic era, then Mahajanapads, in which Buddhism and Jainism will also come, and then we will come to the part of Magad, and after Magad, Mauryan Empire. So today I want to cover Mahajanapads and Magad for you, because Jainism, Buddhism we have done, right? So I will start the discussion, not complete, but start the discussion on Mahajanapads. Maybe it will be completed in next class. By the next class, Magad will be done. But yes, all the Mahajanapads will be discussed today. So Menander was the Indo-Greek king. Okay, and he is also known as Milinda. So there is a great work, Milinda Panno, which is the questions of Milinda. So basically Indo-Greek king and Kanishka, Kushan rulers, helped in the promotion of Buddhism. And Menander, who had many questions, he asked those questions to a monk known as Nagasena, and asked that why this source of sorrow is coming in life, what is Buddhism, how Buddhism is there. So all these things and thoughts and answers, this entire discussion in the dialogue form was written in Milinda Panno. So the book is Milinda Panno. It's a creation. So you need to tell me, guys, that yesterday I was telling you about canonical texts and non-canonical texts, right? So in Jainism also we can have canonical texts, and in Buddhism also we can have canonical texts and non-canonical texts. So what do you think? Milinda Panno can be a canonical text or a non-canonical text? Tell me. Is it a canonical text or a non-canonical text? As I told you in the last class, canonical texts are those texts which are core, of the teachings or directly related to Buddha. Non-canonicals will be those texts indirectly related to Buddha, okay, which is a source of information for us, but maybe not the core literature or philosophy of Buddhism. So tell me, Milind Panno will be canonical or non-canonical? Let me just check your comments. Give me a moment. Yes, right answer is non-canonical. Well done. Well done, guys. Well done. And okay, I hope the sound is better now. Fine. Great, great. I can see very nice answers today. That's great, guys. So it is a non-canonical text. Fine. Now let's come to the next slide. Bamiyan is also one of the tallest statues of Buddha. And Hinduism was patronized by Satavahan rulers also, who worshipped Vishnu, Shiva, and Mother Goddess. So this shows us that there was a tolerance in society. In the ancient society, in the ancient India, we had tolerance. And maybe because of this tolerance only, we found so many invasions in the India. And many of them, when these invaders they came to India, they wanted to settle down, they wanted to get absorbed in the society. Okay, they used to feel very good when they came here in India. First of all, due to climatic conditions. You will see, as a human being, have you ever felt that when you enter in a room, you feel very good? Maybe due to some climatic conditions. Maybe it is very cozy for you. Maybe it is very spacious for you. But if you go in a congested area or a dirty place or a dirty room, in a messy place, you might not get that comfortable. You may not like it. So this is something which happens very, which is something which you do unconsciously, okay, unwillingly. Maybe it just happens. Why it happens? Because you like that area. You feel very good at that place. So people, when they came to India, the climatic conditions were very favorable for them. And the best part was the flora fauna. So this geographical connection made them stay here. And they knew that so many trades and things are happening in this area. Opportunities were there. So they wanted to settle down. And to settle in this area, they wanted to know the culture. And to understand the culture, they started asking those questions, like in Milinda Panno, the questions of Milinda is there. So they started asking, they started interacting with the gurus, with the preachers and teachers of this particular region. And that's why they used to stay with the monks also. Sometimes when these traders and travelers used to visit India, or when they used to pass from the Indian trade routes, they used to stay with the monks in their viharas. And they gave liberal donations to these monks, okay, because they were very rich and they started knowing about the Indian culture. Now because of these liberal donations, there was a decline in Buddhism, because now these monks got so luxurious, they got so civilized and comfortable in their life, that they never had to go as a bhikkhu or bhikkhuni. And then there was a system where they started loving the pleasures in their life. Whatever which was refrained in Buddhism was now started a kind of a part in their life. It became a part and parcel of the life of the monks, and that's why the decline got started. Okay, so this is also one of the reason why the decline in Buddhism happened. Fine. Now let's come to the topic again. As I was telling you that Satvahans, they are one of the example. We will discuss about Satvahans later. You will see that these rulers, they are giving patronage to all the religions. They are worshipping Vishnu also, Shiva also, Mother Goddess also, but they are patronizing other religions also. So tolerance was there, and the emphasis was now laid on loving devotion to God called bhakti. As I told you, bhakti eliminated the middleman. Okay, that's why it was the best way to have a direct connection with God. Right? The best way to have a direct connection with God. Great. Now, Yes, you can call it vibes also, है ना, कि कहीं अच्छी vibes आती है, good vibes and bad vibes. So yes, of course, in India, people were finding good vibes, you can say. Now, deities were kept in spatial homes called temples. So temple architecture also got started, and Bhagavad Gita became a very famous text during this period. We will discuss how. So here you can see a sculpture where Vishnu is as a Varaha. It is the image from Iran, Madhya Pradesh, and this magnificent statue is a very special form of Vishnu. Okay, Varaha or boar, you can see here. And according to the Hindu text, we can see many avatars of Vishnu ji. Okay, and then here in your class 6 NCERT, there is more chapter. If you want to find it, you can open the book. In Class 6 NCERT, chapter number 10, the chapter's name is The New Empire and Kingdom, where they discuss few of the topics related to Mahajanapads and new towns. But that is not sufficient, guys. I have taken the important points from the book, but it is not sufficient. So I'll be giving you some points from Tamil Nadu history book today. Okay, because I found that in Tamil Nadu history book, they have many points related to Mahajanapads. So that's why I have taken it from there. So you might think that why we are taking other book in consideration when this is an NCERT series, because sometimes in NCERT few of the topics are not covered very well. So for this one, Tamil Nadu history, class 11th, okay, you can see the chapter number 4. There you will find these topics which I'll be discussing today in the class to cover up the topic of Mahajanapads and correlated with the NCERT. So in NCERT there is a discussion on archaeological sources. Now they are clearly jumping to Guptas and Mauryas. They are talking about Guptas and they talk about the rock cut temples also of Ajanta, Prayag Prashasti pillar inscription at Allahabad, and in this Prayag Prashasti pillar, it is by the court poet Hari Sena. Hari Sena was the court poet, and that's why these court poets, just in a wish of a good gift from the king, they used to do atishokti. Okay, they used to exaggerate about the king while writing about the ruler. So they used to write that the ruler is like God, he is so good, he is so brave. It is sometimes exaggerated by them just to seek more gifts from the, or donations and patronages from the ruler. So we also found coins and literary sources from the other source. They also form the other source of informations. So the study of coins is known as numismatics. So numismatics are also the source to know the history. As I told you, we can have literary sources, we can also have archaeological sources. Few important areas are here which we need to understand if you know about the cities. There is Thanesar here. This will come again and again in the chapter. Mathura, Kannauj will become very important in the time of medieval India. Then Prayag, this is Ujjain. Ujjain is in the middle of the entire Indian subcontinent, you can say, due to which in Ujjain you will see the mixed form of arts and mixed styles from South India and North India. And it will become a very important place also, because if you need to go to South India from north, you will pass from the Ujjain. So Ujjain will become very important. Okay, people will fight for these areas to gain these locations under their control, so that they could collect more taxes, and that's why kingship became very, very important. Okay, then you have Ajanta here. In Ajanta, we had many caves. This is Amravati, where Amravati School of Art will grow, in which they used to have white marbles. Okay, and then here you can see Aihole, a very important area. We will discuss Aihole when we will come to Chalukyas. Then here you can see Kanchipuram. This is Madurai here, very, very important. Puhar was a very important port city of Cholas, which will be discussed later on. Don't worry, when we will come to Sangam literature, Cholas, Cheras, Pandyas will be covered, and there I'll tell you about the ports and port cities like Pohar. Then this is Mahabalipuram here, very, very important, Mahabalipuram. This is Vallabhi here. We will see the importance of Vallabhi in the Gupta Empire. Okay, where the fight for Vallabhi will happen, and Chandragupta too, Vikramaditya, will gain this area, and then he will take a very important title. Okay, the title was Sakari. So I'll tell you about this one. Now, right now, what we need to focus? We need to focus on Patliputra today. Okay, Patliputra, very important. So, in this area of Patliputra, we will see the rise of Magad. Okay, and Magad will see the rise and so much of growth just because they had the powerful and ambitious rulers from the Haryanka dynasty, like Bindusar and Ajatashatru. Okay, so not Bindusar but Bimbisar. So we got to see Bimbisar first and then Ajatashatru will come. But there is one more name, Bindusar. So Bindusar is the ruler from Mauryan Empire who will come later. Okay, so first we will discuss Bimbisar of Haryanka dynasty, and then when we will come to the Mauryan Empire, we will discuss Bindusar. Okay, so just remember these two names which may get confused in your mind. Bimbisar is the first ruler from where your history starts, you can say. Because see, since so long we are discussing so many points and things, right? But we have not discussed any ruler yet. So the first ruler which we will discuss is Bimbisar. He is from Haryanka dynasty. He will be the ruler of this area, the Patliputra area, which was known as Magad at that point. Magad was the Mahajanpad. So the rise of Magad, this Mahajanpad, will be because of Bimbisar. Okay, and when the Magad will rise, it will occupy other regions also, it will grow, and then you will see after Haryanka dynasty, Shishunag dynasty will come. Then after the Shishunag dynasty, you will see the rise of, there is a ruler Kalashoka, very important king, and then there will be Nanda dynasty. Nanda dynasty is quite popular because we know the story of Chandragupta Maurya and the Dhananand, how Chandragupta Maurya killed Dhananand with the help of Chanakya, because Chanakya was there during the time of Nanda dynasty, and he saw how taxation was applied very heavily on the general public, and that's why he was against these kind of atrocities. And he also knew about the invasion of Alexander, about which he told the Nanda ruler Dhananand, but Dhananand disrespected him, so he decided to take the revenge by, killing him and replacing this particular dynasty. So we will discuss Haryanka dynasty, Shishunag dynasty and Nanda dynasty when we will come to Magad. Okay, so now come to the next important part, which discusses about building, painting and books. Again, in this chapter they are discussing about the buildings which were very important in the ancient history, but I will start discussing this topic after I tell you something about Mahajanapads, because it will be not very much relatable to you if you just read the architectures and segments of NCERT like this. So just keep a small focus in your mind that what we are doing right now. We are discussing the 6th century BC. Okay, and in this particular part, we need to discuss 16 Mahajanapads. I will dictate you few of the most important Mahajanapads, because not all the Mahajanapads are important. Like Magad is important. We will see how Magad captured Avanti, and then we will see some clash of Magad and Vaishali. We will see how it reached till the part of Ujjain. Okay, so few important Mahajanapads will be dictated today. Okay, then why Magad became so important is very, very nice question. Because you will see among all these 16 Mahajanapads, Magad was most resourceful. But the important part is not having best resources with you. Like all of you guys are preparing for exam. You have same books, you have same resources, you have same energy, and you all are at the same level, right? But few of the students who are very ambitious will crack the exam. So ambition is very important. So why Magad became so powerful? Because of the ambitious rulers of Haryanka dynasty. That's why in Magad, Haryanka dynasty is important. Okay. So first of all, we will discuss Haryanka dynasty, in which two rulers are there, as I told you, Bimbisar and Ajatashatru. Okay, Ajatashatru was the son of Bimbisar. There you will see that a kind of a shocking thing will come, where son will kill the father to get the throne. So this will shock you that how important was power for people now, that they forgot the relationships. They became so complex and they became so harsh in their nature. Then we will discuss the Shishunag dynasty. And then we will come to the Nanda dynasty. Okay. Now, one small question. What is the difference between dynasty, kingdom, empire? Do you know? Can you tell me the difference between dynasty, kingdom and empire? This is very important to understand before we start discussing the dynasties, because if you don't understand the meaning, let's start from dynasty. Okay, tell me what is a dynasty. In a dynasty, you will see the rule of family members. Okay, so maybe sometimes younger brothers can also become the successor, but generally what happens, there is a hereditary position or hereditary rights getting followed generation to generation, where you'll see that a person will be very powerful, he can have army, he can be very popular, and once he will start a kingdom, he will be the ruler. After his death, his son will become the next ruler. After the death of son, his son will become the next ruler. So successors from the same families will come. So when the same family is ruling in an area for a very long time, and successors are coming generation to generation, changing from the same family, so that will be known as the rule of a dynasty. Okay, and if the dynasty is ruling in a big area, okay, in which few of the states are combined, then that will be known as a kingdom. Okay, then that will become the kingdom. So if you look at the part of Mauryan empire, we don't call it Mauryan kingdom. Okay, we call it Mauryan empire. Why? Because empire is bigger than the kingdom. Even you will see that few of the small kingdoms were there in South India, like Chalukya kingdom. Okay, why? Because Chalukya was a small area, smaller than the empire. So if ruler is having some of these states, like in the, for understanding, let's say अगर आज हम इंडिया को देखते हैं, if you look at the condition of India today and the boundaries of the states in India, so if a political party is having seats and is winning seats in 2 or 3 states, then you will see the combination of these 2 3 states as a kingdom. Okay, but if more than 10 states are there, then that will be an empire. So empire is bigger than the kingdom. King is big, but emperor is bigger than the kingdom. Okay, so tell me some important names of kingdoms which you know, like Chalukyan kingdom, I told you. Okay, tell me more kingdom names. You can tell me names from the ancient history also and medieval history also. Okay, no worries. Fine, you can tell me the kingdom names from the ancient history also and medieval history also. Yes, these videos are sufficient, Shubham. Don't worry. It will be sufficient for prelims and you don't need to follow anything else. But yes, you can follow standard books. See, this is an NCERT series. So in this NCERT series, I will just discuss the NCERTs. And I'll ensure that from 6th to 12th, all the NCERTs, Tamil Nadu history books and general basic books are covered for you. But I can't discuss the standard books also in the same series. For the standard books, we can have a different series or a different, time of the lecture, where we can decide that okay, for 7 p.m. we can start a new lecture series in which we will discuss the standard book like R.S. Sharma, Satish Chandra, Spectrum, or Nitin Singhania, like this. So that will be a separate course. This course is only for NCERT right now. Pandya kingdom, Rashtrakuta, okay, Hoysala kingdom, very nice. Fine. So you gave me few of the examples of kingdom. Now please give me some important example of empires, like Mauryan Empire. Okay. In medieval India, we'll see many important empires, like Mughal Empire, if you know. Mughal Empire is also an empire, it's not a kingdom, because Mughals also had a big area. But Rajputs had smaller area than Mughals. So Rajput kingdom, but Mauryan Empire. Clear? So I hope you understood the difference. Now let's come back to the topic. As I was telling you that there is a timeline which we need to discuss and chronology बहुत समझना ज़रूरी है, ठीक है? आप chronology समझिए. You need to understand the chronology and the sequence in history. When you are coming to 6th century BC, you need to understand the complexity of society. There is a small term which is also like a rule or a formula in your GS. Okay, this is a line which is like a formula. Do you know that statement? I'll tell you. Some of my old students know this. Polity is the guardian of economy. Polity is the guardian of economy. So if you have ambitious political leader, good governance, good kingdoms, good kings, good rulers, very nice management, strict management, if the system is working fine, then economy will grow automatically. Do you agree? Yes or no? Do you agree? Let's say, for example, let's say there is a country in which so many good resources are there. A lot of diversity is there. People are so good. Everything is working fine. Young population is also there. But the ruler is not good. The governance is weak. So will that state or will that country rise? No. You can only rise if you have good ruler. Have you seen in families sometimes parents are very strict and they take care of the studies and other things of the kids in a very good way, and they ensure that my children should get in a good school, and then they should get a good college job. They ensure everything with a very good management, and you see that the students coming from these families, especially middle class families, have greater values in them. They grow more. They get paid in high position and posts when they grow up in their adult and mature stage. Why? They are so successful just because of a good polity and management in their childhood, right? So polity is the guardian of economy. Then economy, if economy will be good, if you will have money, then you will see the growth in society. Economy is the guardian of society. Economy is the guardian of society, and society is the guardian of culture. Okay, how? Let's understand. Do you see, in India we have such a vast and colorful Indian culture, but still Indians like to follow the Western culture. 95% of us, if there is no festive season, if there is nothing like a puja or occasion, we don't prefer wearing ethnic or Indian dresses. We prefer wearing Western dresses. We even prefer going to the Western toilets. We don't like to use the Indian washrooms anymore. Have you seen this change coming in society? And when I see this change, I'm not talking about you. You as a person can be a different person. What you do and how you feel is very different from the society in general. When we are doing general studies, you need to take things generally in your mind. So when we talk about this culture, basically the culture can only be developed by the people who follow the culture. Culture is a way of life, and the society can only take care of this culture. So if you decide that, okay, if Diwali is coming, I will decide that, okay, I don't need to wear Indian dresses. It's fine to wear jeans and top. It's not very important to wear a suit or sari. If I decide this, nobody will kill me, right? Nobody will say anything to me. I can do that, right? But this will change a kind of a cultural mindset. Then what will happen next year? Next year again this will come to my mind that okay, last year also I didn't wear sari or suit or any Indian ethnic dress, so again I can repeat the same thing and I can be relaxed in my t-shirt and jeans or lower, and I can just spend this festival like that. It will be very convenient for me. Nobody will say anything, but it will be something which will bring a change in culture. Maybe just because of me following this kind of approach in my dressing sense, my friends and my family members can also change their mind and can also follow the same with me. They will also feel like okay, you are right. Somehow it is more relaxed when we wear the Western dresses. So it's not that important to just follow this strict ethnic dress on a festival occasion. Let's wear a Western dress and just cut this mess out. People can decide like this, and I have seen many of people, and they are doing it in my neighboring areas also. I see that even on the Indian festival occasions they don't wear Indian dresses. They find that Western dresses are more relaxed and more convenient to wear and follow. So this shows that this is a very important chart, and it was applicable in the time of ancient history also. So when we come to the 6th century BC, we see a change in a political system. Why? Because king became very important now, and the system of dynastic rule came. As I told you, dynasties emerged. How? Because family continued the rule with their successors. That's why. So here what will happen, that the king will have resources and land under his control. So because of these possessions, people will try to have more security. They will pay taxes to the king, so that king gives the protection, and king will use this surplus production to feed his army and to pay his soldiers. In this way, king will try to expand more and will try to grab the neighboring region. Let's say this is one country, and if this king is powerful, what he will do? He will try to acquire the land area of other neighboring states also. And if he can defeat a small ruler which is in the neighboring area, then he can become a bigger king. He can expand his empire like this by killing the other ruler. If he will kill more rulers, he will be able to get more areas. So killing means gaining. If you kill a ruler, you will gain the territory. If you kill that ruler, if you kill all the successors of that family, you can acquire that land, you can acquire that state. So this kind of bloodshed became the mindset of the rulers, that if we can have a war, then only we can get the victory and the piece of land or the piece of that state. So that state will be mine. People of that state will pay the taxes to me. They will pay the tributes to me. They will find me like a god, and I will have a divine status. I will become more powerful. Right? Yuddha hi veerta ka praman hai. Okay? If you are not fighting, you are not brave. This philosophy came. This kind of mindset came, which is very, very much against the democracy, right? That's why democracy is the best policy to follow, because there is no bloodshed in democracy. Okay, even if some kind of hidden crimes are there, they are hidden. They are not very open in society. But at that time, this mass killing was happening very openly. Okay, kings used to take their army and they used to attack a small kingdom. They used to get the area. A part of this war and killing, apart from this, there was one more way, which was matrimonial alliance. Let's say there are two powerful kings and they both are equally powerful. They both have equal amount of army and soldiers with them. They both know that if we will have a fight or a war, even if I win, it will be a loss for me, because I may lose so many soldiers, resources, wealth, and a lot of time will be wasted, that it will be of no use. Sometimes you try to calculate the opportunity cost also, that if I go to a war, how much I will gain. So if this king knows that I might not get a lot of powers and things acquired by me, and it is very risky, and same thinking is there with the other king also, they both can decide to have a relation and a matrimonial alliance. Now to have this matrimonial alliance, they need two different genders, a girl and a son. So let's say if there is a prince who is 30 years old and there is a princess who is only 15 years old. Now, will these two rulers think about the age difference of their kids, or will they think about this management of age in this marriage where the girl is only 15 years old and the boy is 30-year-old? Even if the boy is 30-year-old, they will decide to have this matrimonial alliance. Why? Because they are not having this relationship or marriage to settle down their kids, to have a future for their kids. No, they are doing it for their own power, they are doing it for their political prestige, to increase something in their wealth, in their ancestral wealth, you can say. So will they ask the girl that if you like the guy or not? जैसे शादी से पहले अरेंज्ड मैरिज में होता है कि बच्चों अगर आपको बात करनी है आपस में तो आप अकेले जाके बात कर सकते हैं. Have you seen these nonsense scenes in movies or serials where they ask the couple, like would-be couple, that if you want, you can talk in alone and discuss that if you want to, like each other, and if you are comfortable, then only we will proceed with the marriage. No. So here what they will do, to legitimize this kind of nature where they are suppressing an individual. Who is getting suppressed? The girl. Why? Because she will not be able to change her life partner anyhow, the princess, because there, the prince here who will become king later can marry other girls also of his choice. He is, even after marriage, he is free. He is having full freedom, because he will have no foundations, because it will be always said that to increase the political prestige and power, it is fine to do matrimonial alliances and they can do more than one marriage. So this system will be very prevalent with the male dominating societies, but who is suppressed? The individual who is princess. She will have to marry a boy even if he is double of her age, even if she is not in liking, but she will have to go, leave everything, settle down. Why? Because this will be a custom. Now to legitimize this custom, they will write Manusmriti. Because see, if you are following a rule which is very harsh, and if you want someone to follow it, how to make it very strict in a society? By making it religious, by making it a custom, because when you follow a culture, you need to follow customs and traditions also, right? You need to follow a dressing sense, you need to follow a style, you need to follow a kind of a food habit also, you can say. So now people will start sharing this custom so that they can legitimize this kind of behavior where they are using a girl child to have a matrimonial alliance before her permission, even without her consent. There is nothing like consent here. Now this will become very, very popular in society, because people will love to expand like this. When common people, when general people, when they will see their rulers doing it, they will start following it more. Like nowadays what we do, we see that common people, general public, they follow the celebrities. Like if the celebrity is wearing this brand, I will also wear this brand. So at that time, these kings, queens, princes, they were all like celebrities for general public and masses. So the general public, when they will see their kings doing it, they will also do it. They will do the same thing, even without knowing it that it is happening for a matrimonial alliance. They should not use the girl child like this, but they will use it in a different way. So everybody will try to take the advantage of this situation. So now, to legitimize and make it easier for them, they will try to decide that they will not even wait for 15 years for this girl to grow up. No, because when she will grow up, by the time she gets 15 or 16 of her age, she can get some sense, and it will be very hard for her to adjust in a new house. She may revolt, she may become rebellious, she may ask questions, she may not settle down, because her brain will not be washed. So before giving her any exposure, what they used to decide, they decided to have child marriage, to have more safety and no objections at all. So you will see the new customs like child marriage will be there, okay, and other issues will also grow up. The dowry system will also come up. Fine. Okay, I hope you're getting the points. Now, after understanding this, the next important thing which you need to understand is that when these Mahajanpads will grow, they will also try to capture the areas when there will be a kind of a alliance or treaties with some friendly states. So when these two rulers, they are now relatives, samdhi ban gaye hain, dosti rishtedari mein badal chuki hai, right? So if now they are related to each other, so they will fight with common enemies together. Okay, so if anyone will attack this ruler, then he had to face the fight against this ruler also. Okay, that's why marriage became very important symbol which is unbreakable. Okay, there is no concept of divorce in Hinduism. There is no concept of separation. Even if you will search a word for talaq in Sanskrit, you will not find it. Talaq or divorce can only happen in other religions and other cultures. In Hindu culture, it is not possible, because once these two rulers are coming together, once they decide to come together, when they are on the same ground, now there is no way of breaking this custom. They made it so strict that there will be no law, nothing. There is no U-turn. So if you are married, now it is for Janam Janam ka rishta, you need to follow it. Even if you don't like it, you need to follow. So this became a very important part of society. So now let's write about Mahajanpads, and then we will talk about all the Mahajanpads one by one. Okay, so first of all, let's discuss the part of Buddhism from the last class. Before I dictate you about Mahajanpads, I want you to write about Buddhism first, because yesterday we were writing about Buddhism. So let's continue it from there. So put the subheading Buddhism, and in Buddhism, canonical texts and non-canonical texts. So number one, first write canonical texts of Buddhism. After dictating about Buddhism, I'll discuss the Mahajanpads more for you, and will dictate you about all the Mahajanpads one by one before coming to the Magad. Okay? Fine for you? Okay. Yes, locked forever. Exactly. Please write, guys. I hope you're ready with your pen and paper. Fine. So the first line I was dictating was about canonical texts. Texts that are directly linked to canonical texts, CANONICAL. Canonical texts. Texts that are directly linked to Gautam Buddha in one way or another. in one way or another. Example, three Pitakas. There are three Pitakas: Sutta Pitaka, Vinay Pitaka, Abhidhamma Pitaka. Sutta Pitaka, Sutta, Sutta Pitaka, Pitaka. Vinay Pitaka, Vinaya, Vinay Pitaka, Pitaka. Abhidhamma Pitaka, Abhidhamma, Abhidhamma Pitaka. So we can have three Pitakas. They are canonical texts: Sutta Pitaka, Vinay Pitaka, Abhidhamma Pitaka. Second point, non-canonical texts. Non-canonical texts. Texts that are not linked directly to Buddha, but are commentaries, observations on canonical texts, historical information and other writings in Pali, Tibetan, Chinese and other East Asian languages full stop. So tell me, Jataka stories or Jatak tales, which are the stories from the life of Buddha, will come in canonical text or non-canonical text? Tell me guys. जातक स्टोरीज, जातक कथाएं कैनोनिकल हैं या नॉन कैनोनिकल हैं? नॉन कैनोनिकल, राइट. ओके, सो प्लीज राइट द पॉइंट. आई विल जस्ट रिपीट इट अगेन फॉर यू. Non-canonical texts are not linked directly to Buddha but are commentaries, observations on the canonical texts, historical information and other writings in Pali, Tibetan, Chinese or other East Asian languages. Okay. Now please write about the canonical texts. Put the subheading canonical text. Number 1, the Vinay Pitaka. The Vinay Pitaka includes the rules from nuns and monks of Sangha, biographical stories and some elements of the Jatakas. Full stop. It is a discipline basket. It is a discipline basket. Full stop. Underline discipline basket. I'll repeat the point. The Vinay Pitaka includes the rules from nuns and monks of Sangha, biographical stories and some elements of the Jatakas. It is a discipline basket. Second point, the Sutta Pitaka. The Sutta Pitaka is also known as Buddha Vachan. Buddha Vachan, because in the Sutta Pitaka all the teachings of Buddha are compiled. So Buddha Vachan. Buddhavachana, Buddha Vachan. It is the basket of discourses, discourses, basket of discourses. So underline basket of discourses. Vinay Pitaka was the discipline basket, it is the discourse basket. Full stop. These discourses or sutras were arranged in a chronological order in which they were delivered. They were first recited at the they were first recited at the first and second Buddhist council. First and second Buddhist council. Okay, third point, number 3, the Abhidhamma Pitaka. Abhidhamma Pitaka is the basket of higher teachings. Underline basket of higher teachings. Underline this. The Abhidhamma Pitaka is the basket of higher teachings which includes the systematic teachings of the Sutta Pitaka and the philosophy of Buddhism. Which includes the systematic teachings of the Sutta Pitaka and the philosophy of Buddhism. Underline philosophy. Philosophy. Underline the philosophy word. Okay. Next point. Non-canonical texts. This is the new subheading. Underline non-canonical texts. Write the first point. The Jatakas are one of the 15 books of the Khuddak Nikaya. The Jatakas are one of the 15 books. 15 books में से एक है Jatakas of the Khuddak Nikaya. Khuddak Nikaya. Khuddaka. Khuddaka. Khuddaka Nikaya. 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 Composed between 3rd century BC and 2nd century AD. 3rd century BC and the 2nd century AD. Okay, now please write the next point. Next subheading, life of Buddha. Let's understand about the chronology of the life of Buddha, how Buddha was born, how he became Buddha, and how other things happened in his life. So first point, Gautam Buddha was born as Siddharth in 563 BC. 563 BC. Gautam Buddha was born as Siddharth in 563 BC on Vaishakh Purnima day. Vaishakh Purnima day in a Shakya Kshatriya family. In a Shakya Kshatriya family. Shakya clan was there basically. So Shakya Gan था एक, उस फैमिली में उनका जन्म हुआ. शाक्य क्षत्रिय फैमिली एट लुम्बिनी नियर कपिलवस्तु इन नेपाल. एट लुम्बिनी नियर कपिलवस्तु इन नेपाल. Okay, now just for one example, this is just a small discussion. There is one Rumendai inscription, which is Ashokan inscription, and in that Rumendai inscription also they have mentioned that Lumbini was the birthplace of Gautam Buddha. So this shows us that from these architectures and pillars we can verify many of the informations. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you this. Now please write the next point. He was also known as Sakya Muni or Tathagat. He was, we are talking about the life of Buddha. Okay, so in the life of Buddha, second point, he was also known as Sakya Muni, Sakyamuni, or Tathagat, Tatha, Tathagat, Gata, Sakya Muni or Tathagat. His father Suddhodhan. Next point. His father Suddhodhan, Suddhodana, Suddhodhan or Suddhodana. His father Suddhodana seems to have been the elected ruler of Kapilvastu seems to have been the elected ruler of Kapilvastu and headed the Republican clan of Shakyas. And headed the Republican clan of the Shakyas. Full stop. His mother Mahamaya was a princess from his mother Mahamaya was a princess from the Koshal dynasty. Koshala, Koshala, Koshala dynasty. Okay. Next point. He married Yashodhara at the early age of 16 years. He married to Yashodhara at the early age of 16 years and had a son named Rahul Full stop. Next point. At the age of 29, he left his palace in search of truth and kept wandering for about 7 years, attaining knowledge at the age of 35 at Bodh Gaya under a peepal tree, and then he was called Buddha or the Enlightened. Next point. He delivered his first sermon in Deer Park at Sarnath in Banaras. Deer Park, D-E-E-R. Deer Park at Sarnath in Banaras. This event was known as Dharma Chakra Pravartana. Dharma Chakra Pravartana, meaning turning the wheel of law. Next point. Later he moved towards Kosal. Where Prasenjit was the king of Kosal. Prasenjit, P-R-A-N-S-E-N-J-I-T. Sorry, P-R-A-S-E-N-J-I-T. Prasenjit, the king of Kosal, with his entire family, adopted Buddhism. Next point. He passed away at the age of 80 years in 483 BC. He passed away at the age of 80 years, turning the wheel of law, wheel, W-H-E-E-L, wheel of O-F, L-A-W, law, turning the wheel of law. Dharma Chakra Pravartana is turning the wheel of law. Okay. Now please write the next point. He passed away at the age of 80 in 483 BC at Kushinagar, and this event is called as Mahaparinirvan. Mahaparinirvan, M-A-H-A, Maha, P-A-R-I, Pari, Nirvan, N-I-R-V-A-N-A. Don't have a space in between. Mahaparinirvan without space. Mahaparinirvan. Mahaparinirvan. Okay. So it was all about the life of Buddha. Now please write about the teachings of Buddha. So there was 4 noble truths. Please write 4 noble truths. N-O-B-L-E, noble truths. 4 noble truths. Number 1, the truth of suffering. The truth of suffering. Number 2, the truth of the cause of suffering. The truth of the cause of suffering. Number 3, the truth of the end of suffering. The truth of the end of suffering. Number 4, the truth of the path leading to the end of suffering. The truth of the path leading to the end of suffering, in bracket, Ashtangik Marg, eightfold path. So the path which can end all the suffering was the Ashtangik Marg, eightfold path, in which right observation, right determination, right speech, right action, right effort, right livelihood, right concentration and right meditation is there. Okay, so I'll just repeat this point for you. There are 4 noble truths. Okay, number 1, the truth of suffering. Number 2, the truth of cause of suffering. Number 3, the end of suffering. Number 4, the path leading to the end of suffering, which is Ashtangik Marg. A-S-T-A-N-G-I-K-A, Ashtangik Marg, or eightfold path. Basically, there are 8 ways in this path. That's why it is known as Ashtangik Marg. Clear? So please write about the Ashtangik Marg first. The Noble Eightfold Path, put the subheading the Noble Eightfold Path, under which you can write first, number 1 is right observation. Sahi observation means you should know the truth. Number 2, right determination. Free your mind of evil. Right determination. Free your mind of evil. Number 3, right speech means say nothing that hurts anyone. Right speech, अच्छा बोलो. Number 4, right action. Right action. Work for the good of others. Number 5, right livelihood. Right livelihood means respect the life. Number 6, right effort. Right effort, सही एफर्ट करना, मतलब रेजिस्ट एविल, बुरा मत बनो, राइट एफर्ट. नंबर 7, राइट कंसंट्रेशन, इन विच यू कैन प्रैक्टिस मेडिटेशन. राइट कंसंट्रेशन, राइट कंसंट्रेशन. एंड नंबर 8 is right meditation to control your thoughts. Right meditation. And he said that when you follow these 8 paths, when you go for this Ashtangik Marg, you don't need to be very strict with you. Don't be harsh on yourself. No, follow it in a midway. Like follow the Madhyam Marg, like a mid path, in which don't be very extreme with every point. Try to be very slow in your approach. Try to be very realistic and give time and space to everything. Okay. So all these things were there. I hope Buddhism is clear to you, and you have no doubts in Buddhism. So if you have any Buddhism, if you have any problem related to the teaching or the life of Buddha, please let me know. If no doubts, you can write no doubts in the comment box so that I can move to the new topic. If everyone will write no doubt, then I will start the new topic. Okay, so I can see that there is one doubt about Abhidhamma Pitaka, otherwise there is no more doubt. So guys, I'll just repeat the point of Abhidhamma Pitaka again, but before moving forward, we also need to write about the three sects of Buddhism: Mahayana, Hinayan, and Vajrayana. So these three I will just dictate you in a very short way. You can make it a flow chart, or you can just write it in a simple paragraph, okay, the way you want it. So let me just repeat one point which is asked by a student about Abhidhamma Pitaka. So I'll just repeat. The Abhidhamma Pitaka is a basket of higher teachings. The Abhidhamma Pitaka is a basket of higher teachings, underline basket of higher teachings, which includes the systematic teachings of the Sutta Pitaka and philosophy of Buddhism. Sutta Pitaka and philosophy of Buddhism. Underline philosophy. Okay, now please put the new subheading: three famous sects of Buddhism: Hinayan, Mahayana, Vajrayana. Three famous sects of Buddhism, SECTS, sects मतलब sections, ठीक है, जिसके तीन अलग अलग तरीके के फॉलोअर्स होंगे और सबका अलग अलग तरीके का पूजा पाठ करने का तरीका होगा. They will have their own ways, they will have their own paths. So three most famous sects of Buddhism, Hinayan, Mahayana and Vajrayana. So number one, please write about Hinayan, Hinayana. Hinayan, this is the spelling of Hinayan here. Hinayan literally means the lesser path. Hinayan literally means the lesser path. Heen मतलब छोटा, lesser path. And the Theravada. Theravada, Theravada. Theravada means the doctrine of elders. Doctrine of elders. This is the spelling of Theravada. Theravada, doctrine of elders. Okay, now please write. Its scriptures are in Pali language under the Hinayan, which is Theravada. Hinayan and Theravada are same basically. So when you are writing Hinayan, you can write Theravada in bracket. So under the Hinayan school, please write its scriptures are in Pali language. Its scriptures are in Pali language. And this school treats Buddha as Nothing more than a human being. Nothing more than a human being. It does not believe in idol worship. The main of if of the main aim of the main aim of Heenyan is thus THUS is thus Nirvana. Nirvana. So they just want a Nirvana, they just want to be enlightened, nothing else. Next point. It is an orthodox school. It is an orthodox school. Theravada was the original school of Buddhist philosophy. Theravada was the original school of Buddhist philosophy. At present, this Buddhism is followed in Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand, and other parts of Southeast Asia. At present, this Buddhism is followed in Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand, and other parts of Southeast Asia. Full stop. Ashoka patronized this Heenyan only. Okay. So when Ashoka was there, when he was patronizing Buddhism and when he was spreading Buddhism, he was working with Heenyan Buddhism only. But after death of Ashoka, you will see some changes will be there. Okay. And then there will be the development of Mahayana Buddhism. So we have written about Heenyan Buddhism. Now next please write about Mahayana Buddhism. Okay. Mahayana Buddhism. Some of the new students are here and they are writing good morning. But this is the evening time and we come live daily at 9 p.m. So just try to be on time. Fine. And now the next point which we are writing is about Mahayana Buddhism. I hope you guys are ready. Tell me if you are tired, okay? I'll not start the new topic of Magad today if you are tired. After dictating you about Mahayana and other important sects, I'll just end the dictation. So you just don't need not to worry because it's a live session, so I can go according to your speed. And if you feel tired, you can always let me know. Now please come to the next important sect, which is Mahayana. Mahayana literally means the greater path. Please write. Mahayana literally means the greater path. The greater path, Mahayana है ना, महान है, महायान है. So credit to find this sect goes to Nagarjun. Credit to find this sect goes to Nagarjun. Nagarjuna. Nagarjun. Next point. Its scriptures are in Sanskrit language. So this is again a point for the decline of Buddhism, that Buddhism started with Pali language, but later they started following Sanskrit language. Initially they were against all those Vedic traditions and Sanskrit and other things. They were like, no, we will be the people, not people, but we will be the religion and language of the masses, of the people. But they when started following Pali, they became so famous. But now in Mahayana, they started following Sanskrit language. Next point. This school treats Buddha as God. This school treats Buddha as God. Okay, yes, I am continuing. Okay, Sri Lakshmi, Nishant, and yes, Upside Down King. Why do you guys keep these kind of names? They are so peculiar. Why don't you keep your own name so that at least I can, take your name in the class, because this name is so long and confusing. I hope nobody is taking it as a dictation. because the name is upside down king. Don't write it, guys. I'm just taking a name of a student in from the comment box. So please write about Mahayana. We were discussing Mahayana, and the third point of Mahayana is that the school treats Buddha as God and worships idols of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas were the followers of Buddha, and they, they followed the eightfold path very, very strictly. So they were also like monks only. So Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. I'll repeat the point. This school treats Buddha as God and worships idols of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. It believes in universal liberation from suffering for all humans. It believes in universal liberation from suffering for all humans. Next point. It is the heterodox school. I told you about heterodox school of philosophies. HETERODOX, heterodox. Gnostic school, Naya school, modern. So heterodox dox school of Buddhist philosophy. Heterodox school of Buddhist philosophy, full stop. It has two chief philosophical schools named as Madhyamika and Yogachara. Madhyamika, write like this, and Yogachara. Madhyamika and Yogachara. This is the spelling you can see here. So I'll repeat the point. It is the heterodox school of Buddhist philosophy. It has two chief philosophical schools, the Madhyamika and the Yogachara. Okay. Now please write the third one, third important sect. Okay, before writing third one, the heterodox school, this Mahayana, at present it is followed in Japan and China. If you want, you can write this. At present, Mahayana school is followed in Japan, China and other Asian countries. Full stop. Kanishka patronized this school and later Harsha also supported it. Harshvardhan. Famous ruler Kanishka and Harshvardhan patronized it. Kanishka and Harshvardhan patronized it. Now please write about the Vajrayana school. Third important sect of Buddhism, number 3. Now we are discussing Vajrayana school. Vajrayana means vehicle of thunderbolt. Okay, Vajrakayan, Vajra. So please write under the Vajrayana school, it literally means vehicle of thunderbolt. Vehicle of thunderbolt. Write like this, vehicle of thunderbolt. The Vajrayana or diamond vehicle is also referred to as the Vajrayana or diamond vehicle is also referred to as Tantra Mantra and Tantric Buddhism. तो इसमें तंत्र मंत्र की विद्या होती है, झाड़ फूंक करना. Okay, so that is Vajrayana. This is also known as Himalayan Buddhism. Next point. Ansh, you are asking about world history. World history कब होगा? अभी वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री में थोड़ा सा टाइम है बिकॉज वी आर गोइंग टॉपिक वाइज एंड राइट नाउ वी आर डूइंग एंशियंट हिस्ट्री. सो once we cover ancient history, then we will come to medieval history, and then we will come to the world history as we are following the chronology. And understand that when we talk about the world history, in the world history also you can have ancient, medieval and modern world history. जैसे इंडिया का अपना एक ancient history है, medieval है, फिर modern है. Also in the world history you have ancient world history, medieval world history and modern world history, but only the modern world history is there in your syllabus and it only comes in the mains. Prelims में आता ही नहीं है. तो इसीलिए वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री अभी हम नहीं पढ़ेंगे, बिकॉज इट इज़ ओनली इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर प्रीलिम्स एंड दैट नीड्स सम बेसिक नॉलेज. अभी तो हम लोग बिल्कुल ज़ीरो से स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं. ओके, एंड एज यू कैन सी आई डिक्टेट यू ऑल दोज बेसिक पॉइंट्स जिनका बहुत ज़्यादा वैल्यू भी नहीं है एग्जाम में, बट हम ज़ीरो से स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं तो आई डिक्टेट यू एवरीथिंग. So once you will achieve that level of understanding, I will start world history with you. So come to the topic again. Vajrayan school, it literally means the vehicle of thunderbolt, and the Vajrayan or diamond vehicle is also referred to the Tantra Mantra or Tantric Vidya of Buddhism. And this school uses a highly symbolic language और ट्विलाइट लैंग्वेज. जैसे आपने देखा होगा तंत्र मंत्र वाले कैसे झाड़ फूंक करते हैं, कैसे कुछ भी बोलते रहते हैं, तो वैसा उनका मतलब अप्रोच है वज्रयान में. दिस स्कूल यूजेस अ हाईली सिंबॉलिक लैंग्वेज. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट, इट्स फॉलोअर्स बिलीव दैट सैल्वेशन कैन बी बेस्ट अटेन्ड बाय. Its followers believed that salvation can be best attained by acquiring the magical power, Vajra, 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 magical power, Vajra. Next point, it was a form of Buddhism which followed in Eastern India. It was a form of Buddhism which followed in Eastern India in the 8th century and was finally established in Tibet. It was a form of Buddhism which followed in Eastern India in 8th century and was finally established in Tibet in 11th century as a result of a mission sent by Great Vajrayan Monastery of Vikramshila. Underline this. ग्रेट वज्रयान मोनेस्ट्री ऑफ विक्रमशिला. सो विक्रमशिला वालों ने अपना एक मिशन भेजा तिब्बत में और फिर तिब्बत में वज्रयान बुद्धिज्म स्टार्ट हुआ. इट वॉज अ फॉर्म ऑफ बुद्धिज्म which was followed in Eastern India in 8th century, but finally it was established in Tibet in 11th century as a result of a mission which was sent by the Great Vajrayan Monastery of Vikramshila, and then it became very popular there. So nowadays it is followed in Tibet, Nepal and Bhutan. Tibet, Nepal and Bhutan follows this Vajrayan Buddhism. Okay. Now the last topic which we need to write about Buddhism is the councils of Buddhism. Okay, there were 4 council. तो 4 काउंसिल हुए थे, मतलब 4 मीटिंग्स हुई थी. Why it happened? Basically when Buddha died, तो everyone thought कि now Buddha is no more. So whatever he taught or whatever he used to say, we should compile it, we should write it. So how to spread this religion? So to make those rules and to make few changes, they started having some meetings. So 4 meetings हुई थी, 4 times they met, and whenever they used to meet, they wrote something, they made some new changes, they made some new rules, and that's why these 4 Buddhist councils are important, and they are important for your prelims also. So please write first council. Put a subheading Buddhist council and then write first council. Number 1, year is 483 BC at Rajgriha, Rajgriha. Rajgriha was in Patna. It was presided over by Mahakasappa, Mahakasappa. Mahakasappa. I'll repeat. The first Buddhist council was in year 483 BC at the place known as Rajgriha, which was presided over by Mahakasappa under the patronage of Ajat Shatru. I told you about Ajat Shatru, the son of Bimbisar of Haryanka dynasty. And the purpose of first council was to compile the Buddhist teachings, to compile the Buddhist teachings and the rules for disciplines and the rules for disciples, not disciplines, disciples, जो शिष्य हैं, जो monks हैं, उनके rules बनाने के लिए, DISCIPLES, rules for disciples. Okay, so basically what was the outcome? जो भी बुद्धा की टीचिंग थी, they were divided into two pitakas, Vinay Pitaka and Sutta Pitaka. So later you will see the Abhidhamma Pitaka will also come, which was the philosophy of Buddhism. But here the outcome of the first council was Vinay Pitaka and Sutta Pitaka. Okay, now please write second council. Second Buddhist council happened in the year 383 BC. Second Buddhist council happened in the year 383 BC at Vaishali, presided over by Sabakami, 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 under the patronage of Kalashoka. Kalashoka was the ruler of Shunga dynasty, which I told you. As I told you that when we will discuss Magad, we will discuss three dynasties, in which we will come to the Haryanka dynasty, then Shunga dynasty, then Nanda dynasty. So Kalashoka is popular because he patronized the second Buddhist council. And the purpose of second Buddhist council was to settle down the disputes. Between the two opposing groups of monks of Vaishali and Patliputra and the monks of Kaushambi and Avanti regarding the code of discipline, basically how to follow rules, how to follow regulations. On these points these monks were fighting. That's why this meeting happened. So I'll just repeat the point. Second Buddhist council happened in 383 BC at Vaishali, and it was presided by Sabakami under the patronage of Kalashoka to settle down the dispute between two opposing groups or the monks of Vaishali and Patliputra and the monks of Kaushambi and Avanti regarding the code of discipline. Okay, but result was nothing because council failed to bring any compromise between these opposing group, and there was a permanent split in the groups after this. And because of this, nothing like good compromise happened, and this meeting somehow failed. Okay, so after this council ended, there was a permanent split of Buddhist order, and the permanent split was into Stharviravadins and Mahasanghikas. So then you will see a split of Stharviravadins and Mahasangika, but this is not that important because the main split of Mahayana and Hinayan Buddhism happened in fourth council. So that is more important because that split was a big split. Okay, then Hinayan Mahayan बिल्कुल अलग हो गए थे. But if you want, you can write this one also. Please write. Under the second Buddhist council only, in the same sequence, right? The council ended in a permanent split. The council ended in a permanent split of the Buddhist order. The Buddhist order into Sthavaviravadins. I'll just write it. This is the spelling. Sthaviravadins and Mahasanghikas. 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 Okay. Now, please write third Buddhist council. Thank you so much, Chirag. There is one doubt related to the followers of Theravada, Hinian, and Vajrayan school, where it is followed. So I told you guys that the Hinian school is followed in Myanmar, Thailand, and some country of Southeast Asia. Okay, so under Hinian, please write Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand, Southeast Asia, and Ashoka patronized Hinian school. About Mahayana school, Mahayana was followed in Japan, China, and other Asian countries. Kanishka and Harshvardhan patronized the Mahayana school. Okay, and the Vajrayan became popular in India, eastern India, like Bengal, Bihar, and Tibet, Nepal, Bhutan. These Himalayan nations like Tibet, Nepal, Bhutan follow Vajrayan school. Fine. Now I'll just come to the topic again which we were discussing. So we discussed about the Buddhist council. We discussed first, second Buddhist council. Now let's come to the third Buddhist council, which happened in the year 246 BC. 246. Please write third Buddhist council 246 BC at Patliputra. It happened in Patliputra. Under the it was presided by Mogaliputta Tisa. Mogaliputta Tisa, this is the spelling of president of third Buddhist council. Mogaliputta Tisa, under the patronage of Ashoka. So Ashoka the Great himself patronized this third Buddhist council, and it was to revise the scriptures. To revise the scriptures. I'll repeat the point. Third council in 246 BC at Patliputra, presided by Mogaliputta Tisa, patronized by Ashoka. It was to revise the scriptures, and the result was that philosophical interpretation came. Philosophical interpretation came, and third Pitaka was compiled, which is Abhidhamma Pitaka, in which philosophy is discussed. Okay. And as some problems also started, because as I told you, कुछ ऐसे monks थे जो luxury में चले गए बहुत ज़्यादा, you know, they became womenizers, they became very luxurious, so उनको expel भी कर दिया था. Some heretical monks were there, around 60,000 monks were expelled from the order in third Buddhist council. Okay, this point is not very important, I just wanted to tell you, so don't write. Now come to the fourth council. Fourth Buddhist council happened in 100 AD, 100 AD. देखो सारे BC में हुए थे, अब ये वाला AD में हुआ, नए टाइम में हुआ, कश्मीर में. So please write fourth Buddhist council in 100 AD at Kundalwan in Kashmir. Kundalwan, Kundalwana, Kundalwan in Kashmir, and it was presided by Vasumitra. Vasumitra, very famous monk, Vasumitra, and his deputy Ashwaghosh. Vasumitra and his deputy, उनके साथ उनके एक असिस्टेंट भी थे, डिप्टी थे, अश्वघोष. DEPUTY, deputy Ashwaghosh. ASHVA, Ashwaghosh, GHOSH. And this was patronized by Kanishka, and it was to settle the disputed doctrines, because so many doctrines came by that time, so dispute was there, so it was to settle down the disputes. Okay, so disputed doctrines को settle करने के लिए था fourth council. Please write. I'll repeat the point again. Fourth council happened in 100 AD at Kundalwan, Kashmir, presided by Vasumitra and Ashwaghosha, patronized by Kanishka, to settle the disputed doctrines, and the result was the rise of Heenyan and Mahayan. Okay, the rise of Heenyan and Mahayan. That's it. So we have completed all about Buddhism and Jainism. Okay, everything is done. As I have already discussed with you that a lot of influence of Buddhism and Jainism happened in society. Somehow ahimsa, the concept of ahimsa, which was followed by Gandhiji later in the modern time, also came in this particular 6th century BC only. Now we can start the new topic, the Mahajanapads. So please start from the new page. So the time which is being discussed right now is from 600 BC to 300 BC. So I'll just write it in your board also. This is the phase of second urbanization. Write like this in a new page. Please write this. There is a question: who patronized Mahayan? Kanishka and Harshvardhan. Harsha. Kanishka and Harshvardhan patronized the Mahayan school of Buddhism. Okay. अब हम बुद्धिज्म का कोई डाउट नहीं लेंगे. Okay. Now, if you have any doubts of Buddhism, Jainism or any previous topic, you can come and talk to me in the group. I hope you have joined the group. I hope you will share your answers also. Yesterday I gave you a homework to write an answer of 250 words, in which I gave you a question that critically analyze the similarities of Buddhism and Jainism and explain how they got declined in India or what were the reasons for their decline. So in 250 words you had to write this answer. If you have written, share it in your group, scan the answer of your copy, and then it will be analyzed by me. If you have any doubts, then you can come and talk to me in the group. Okay. And if you feel anything, okay, because see, in this journey you may feel depressed, demotivated, some other issues can come to you. You can always write it down in the group and we'll make a small video on it. I'll come live. We can have a ask me anything session or a doubt clearing session. We can connect any day. Okay, so don't worry about it. And to join that group, what you can do is you can fill the form which is there in the description box, and then we can connect accordingly, or search it on Telegram, NCERT by Sunya IAS, and you will get it. Okay, so now I am starting a new topic, so I'll not take any previous doubts. So this is a new topic, the Mahajanapads. As I have already given you an introduction that the rise of materialism started in India. So this is second urbanization. Now why we are calling it second urbanization? First urbanization kab hua tha? Was there any first urbanization also in India? When it happened, who will tell me? You can write both similarities and differences, Sri Lakshmi. I don't remember if I asked you about writing the similarities, but no worries, just write it. Write something. I just gave you a question. Don't worry. No hard and fast rules. You can write both if you know both. You can write both the similarities and differences. Okay. Right answer came from Raj Sundari. Well done, Raj Sundari. Indus Valley civilization is the right answer. So Indus Valley civilization saw the first urbanization. Fine. Now what we are discussing is the time period between 600 to 300 BC. So now we will see that many territorial states will be there. Okay, so the first territorial states will be formed. Please put a subheading in your new page. The first territorial states. The first territorial states. Underline it. Okay. So where these first territorial states began? Formation of large territorial states happened in eastern Uttar Pradesh and western Bihar. Please write. Formation of large territorial states happened in eastern Uttar Pradesh and western Bihar. Why it happened? Because of the use of iron. Now why iron is so important? I told you that iron will give us iron pluff and iron weapons also. So now the king became very powerful, and to increase his power, he will increase the army and he will increase the weapon. So the use of iron led to the second urbanization after Indus Valley civilization. Okay, so this was happening after Indus Valley civilization. So write the next point. This improved the defense, comma, as use of iron weapons made warrior class, as use of iron weapons made warrior class an important section of the society. Full stop. An important section of the society. Next point. New agricultural tools enabled the peasants to produce surplus. New agricultural tools enabled the peasants to produce surplus. Next point. Material advantages enabled the people to stick to their land and to expand at the cost of the neighboring areas. The neighboring areas. Next point. Territorial idea was strengthened. Means increasing your territory. Territorial idea means what? Increasing your territory. So you should get more territories, you should gain more lands. That this is known as territorial idea. Territorial idea gain more strength or strengthened with the rise of new states. With the rise of new states. Next point, please write monarchical states. Please write names of few of the monarchical and republican states. Monarchical states, we had few monarchical states in which monarchies were there, in which the system of hereditary rights continued. So please write monarchical states, monarchical states, monarchical states like Anga, Avanti, Chedi, Vatsa, Magad, Kashi, Koshal, Gandhar, all these states were monarchical states. I'll repeat the point. We are writing about monarchical and republican states. So please write under monarchical states. First is Anga, Avanti, Chedi, Chedi, Avanti, Chedi, Vatsa, 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 Magad, Kashi, Koshal, and Gandhar. Okay, so these were monarchical states. Next, republican states. Please write republican states like Vajjis, Kurus, Kamboj, let me just show you in the map also. However, I have already discussed this map with you, but again, as we are writing this topic, so in this area you can see Kamboj. Okay, so we are talking about republican states, Vajjis, Kuru, Kamboj, Panchals and Mallas. You can see I have encircled few of the republican states for you. Okay, this is Vajji here. And then if we talk about few of the important areas which came under the monarchical states, we had Anga. Here you can see, I'll just mark it with its different color. Anga is here. Okay, this is Magad, this is Vatsa, Chedi, Avanti, Matsya. Sursena was also important. Kosal, Gandhar. So what will happen now? Initially, there will be a fight between Magad and Anga. Magad will try to capture the Anga area. Then Magad will try to capture the other areas like Chedis also, Avanti also. Then Magad will reach till the part of Gandhar. In this way, Magad will expand. Okay. So one by one, we will write about all the important states. Fine. So please write next point. 16 Mahajanpad, number 1 Magad. Let's write from Magad. Magad. 16 Mahajanpads, put the subheading 16 Mahajanpad. Number 1 Magad. Okay, what I'll do is I'll dictate you about Magad and I'll explain Magad tomorrow. Okay, till now we have completed the discussion on Mahajanpads, which is clear. So Magad हम लोग कल करेंगे. Just for the introduction, Magad is in the part of Bihar, as you can see, present present Patna area. So it was in Patliputra area. So from the 16 Mahajanpads, Magad is the most important, and I will dictate the part of Magad to you tomorrow. Fine. Now I'll take the doubts. So please let me know if you have any questions, because otherwise session will be too big and we can't take more than 2 hours. So any doubts, guys? Can I end the session now? If no doubts, then I'll end it. Okay, so I can see there are no doubts, guys. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you're enjoying the session. Please join the group, and you can find the link of the form in the description box. From there you will find all the PDF study materials and the personal group which we have. So just join it and connect to me there. I'll see you guys again tomorrow, and if you have any doubts, don't worry, put it in the comment box.